Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Me to bed, see you in the morning with the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Right. Welcome back to the More Than Therapy podcast, where we explore practices, passions, and people who help us heal, grow, and live better lives outside the traditional therapy room. If you're like most people, you wait for a great joke, a funny movie, or an unexpected moment of absurdity just to catch a tiny, fleeting laugh. But what if we told you that laughter could be a dedicated daily practice? A powerful form of inner medicine you can access anytime, anywhere. Today, we are thrilled to host an advocate dedicated to harnessing the power of joy for profound health and vitality. Our guest is Cathy Nesbitt, a health and wellness advocate, a certified laughter yoga teacher, and a truly inspiring individual who has appointed a laughter ambassador in 2017. Cathy believes we are in charge of our own internal pharmacy, and she's here to teach us how to fill our prescription for joy by activating our body's natural love drugs, that amazing DOSC of happy chemicals. We're going to dive deep into what laughter yoga actually is, why corporations are embracing it for team building, and the incredible evidence based research proving that choosing to laugh is indeed one of the best medicines available. Get ready to breathe, smile, and maybe even let out a ho 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 ha 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 ha. Because this episode is going to change the way you think about joy. Please welcome the wonderful Cathy Nesbitt. Let's get started.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much.
Oh, indeed, indeed. We've been here before, but as a laughter, as you are a health, well, let's just start from the beginning. Why laugh? When did you find the power of laughter to be a healing agent?
Oh, thank you. That's a great place to start. So if we could go back a little bit in time, it's the 23rd anniversary of my worm composting business, selling worms by the pound for indoor composting. I'm located in just north of Toronto in Canada. And so 10 years into my worm mission, 2012, one more person said, "Ew, worms in the house." And I heard it that time. I felt it. I questioned everything. And the very next day, I was introduced to laughter yoga. Laughter yoga is not doing yoga and laughing. It's laughing as a cardiovascular workout. When we're laughing, we are secreting all the love drugs: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. So we literally feel better as soon as we smile. We send a note to our brain, "Hey, I must be happy. I'm smiling." So we start secreting those drugs. And then we add a giggle, hee hee hee. So more drugs get secreted. It's so beautiful versus cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine when we're stressed. So beautiful. Are you still out there?
Yes, I
Oh,
am.
yeah.
But my devices aren't working correctly.
Okay, so I'll keep going then. That's fine. So when we're laughing, right today we're living in this perpetual state of stress. We go around and around, and the challenge is that we've normalized stress, how busy we are, that we're doing all these things, and our to-do list is so long. That's on us. We're the one that draws the list up. So what if, as you said in your introduction, what if there was a way that we could just laugh and feel better or change our state in an instant? Laughter is that gift that's waiting to burst out of all of us. And I've already talked about the dose, but I think the most important piece for laughter is the oxygen. Our brain requires 25% more oxygen than the rest of our body as an operating principle. It's a machine, the answering machine. When we're stressed, blood lymph oxygen leaves our frontal lobe. and goes into our muscles so we can escape from the situation, even if we're escaping from our mind. Laughter changes everything. So I say that it's the opposite of stress. When we're laughing, ha 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 ha, we're breathing deep, we're oxygenating our beautiful brain so we can come up with better solutions. So when we're stressed, we're not breathing, our body's not getting what it needs. For sure, our brain isn't. Ever lost your keys, phone, glasses, and you're flapping around like, where are my keys? I gotta go. You'll never find them in that state because your brain is literally deprived of oxygen. This is such a magic practice, and it's changed my life.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, you're back. Yep.
Many people wait for something funny to laugh. How does the practice of unconditional laughter challenge that deeply ingrained mindset, and what emotional barriers does it help you overcome? Because I find people don't laugh during the day, the 8 hours that they're at work for the most part.
Mm.
They don't laugh in the traffic going home. They don't laugh when they enter the door and greet their children or greet their spouse. They don't laugh when they prepare dinner or sit at the dinner table. I find laughter is highly absent in American homes. Why, how do we challenge that deeply ingrained mindset that laughter, I guess, is a privilege and not a norm?
Well, in comes laughter yoga. Laughter yoga is not about jokes or comedy because jokes are cultural. Like if it's a joke about two people, it's not funny for those two at least, but it's probably about them. So this is like intentional laughter exercises designed to make us feel good. You mentioned a whole whack of scenarios where people are not laughing. What if we change our mind and we find those situations fun? Here's a tip for people watching. When we're driving, when somebody cuts us off, it's never on purpose. Like it's never personal. Like, oh, there's Cathy, let's get her. It's a mistake. Someone might have been distracted, or they didn't know the lane was ending, so they cut you off. When people cut you off, they're always looking. When you've cut somebody off and you feel bad and you're looking in the mirror. So when somebody cuts me off, it's time for laughter yoga. Yes, it is. And I hold on to the wheel, I flail my arm around. I'm laughing. And so the person ahead of me is looking in the mirror. They think, oh my gosh, she's cuckoo. How wonderful. Maybe they get stressed. I don't know. I hope that's not my intention, but it gives me more space because they think I'm road raging. They think I'm mad. I'm not. I'm laughing. So I'm breathing deep. I'm secreting the love drugs. So people can do that when they're in traffic instead of being mad, like, oh, I'm going to be late. Well, you're still going to be late, but you might as well laugh, right? You're still going to arrive at the same time. Why not be secreting all the love drugs? You feel good. And then you arrive, you apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, I got stopped at all the lights, or there was an accident, there was some traffic. And you can explain when you get there. Same with household chores. What about when you're doing the vacuuming? You hate vacuuming. So what if you start laughing? Instead, you're vacuuming. Ha, 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 ha. It's not jokes or comedy. It's laughing intentionally, laughing on purpose. And it changes our state. It changes everything.
Indeed. You're a health and wellness advocate. In what ways do you see the inability to laugh freely as a symptom of modern stress and disconnection?
It really is, because when we're in our head, we're thinking about, again, our to-do list, or the conversation we need to have with a boss or a spouse or a friend. And we get it all in our head. And when we're stressed, again, we're not breathing properly. We're secreting cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, and we're in our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight, flight, or freeze system, rather than rest and digest. Some people will have an argument with somebody and they're like really mad, rah, just yelling back and forth. And then they go and stress eat. I would say don't eat if you've just had a fight with somebody or you're feeling really stressed or anxious, because our body's not in the digest mode. So yes, we can eat and it's going to go in and come out, but our body's not going to take the nutrients that it needs because it's in survival mode rather than in thrival mode, which is where we need to live. We need to live more in joy. And I truly believe it's our birthright for us to feel good. And when we feel good, oh my gosh, we do good. And the world needs more do-gooders at this time. You know, you asked about when people are not feeling it. Like we are really stressed. When we're stressed, we're tight, you know, and we'll take to social media. That doesn't make us feel better, only temporarily, because when we're looking at, you know, a funny cat video or, you know, somebody liked our post or something, we get a dopamine hit. So we are getting some of the hits that we need. But imagine if we could do that naturally on our own, connecting with somebody. When we're connecting with someone, we're bonding, we're secreting, again, the love drugs, because we're connecting with people. We're social creatures. Isolation makes us feel sad, depressed, anxious, and we take to social, we start comparing. How come their life is so good? What about me? We need to really be in charge of our own life and live our own life. It's in our DNA to live why we came here, not to be comparing to other people. And I want that for everyone.
Indeed, indeed. As a laughter ambassador, what is the core message you want to convey about a person's responsibility for their own joy?
Yeah, you said it at the beginning. We're in charge of our own pharma. When stressed, we're secreting those stress chemicals. And when we're in joy, we're secreting the love drugs. We're in charge of our own pharma. We get to secrete whatever we want. We can feel high energy. When people say, "Oh, I'm really tired," good. Now you need to get up and do some jumping jacks. Go for a walk around the block. Go laugh at yourself in the mirror. Because it changes how we feel. If we're feeling sluggish, then we need to move around. We have a heart to pump our blood. We have another fluid in our body called lymphatic fluid. Lymph doesn't have and there's 3 times the amount of lymph as blood. Lymph doesn't have a pump. It only moves when we move, when we breathe deep, and when we connect. When we laugh, we're moving our lymph. And if we don't move our lymph, then we get swollen ankles. We get, you know, our face swells up because our lymph nodes are blocked. So by moving, we actually increase our energy. We boost our immune system. We feel better. We can come up with more solutions. It's really, it's within us. And I would say, you know, a lot of people who came to laughter yoga came from depression. They had enough with their antidepressant medications, trying this pharma and that drug and this one and trying different things. And some things will work for a little bit and then they stop working. Imagine if we're in charge of our own pharma. And I'm not suggesting that anyone doff their medications. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm here to offer some suggestions. What if we could add laughter, and then maybe you can reduce your medication? Maybe you can just feel better and then do better. And when we're living our purpose, which is why we came here, we came to find why we came here. But as soon as we were born, we forget. And that's our mission, is to find our way back and not live by everybody else's rules. Like our parents want us to go to university and do this and that. They didn't get to be a doctor or a lawyer, so they want you to do that. And maybe you want to be a dancer. So you go, you're a lawyer and you hate it. You're like, yeah, I'm getting the money. I got I do the things, but it's not enough because we can't eat money. We can't eat money. And money follows. When we're doing our passion, money truly comes if we trust and we believe.
Back to being in charge of our own pharma. How do you explain the direct cortisol reducing effect of laughter to someone who is skeptical of natural remedies? because we've been so programmed to think medicine, doctor, medicine, doctor, medicine, doctor. The direct cortisol reducing effect of laughter. Can you explain that to someone who is skeptical, like my father, Philip, over there?
Yeah, so when we're laughing, we feel good. We know it. Like we're getting oxygen, so that makes us feel good because again, when we're tired and we can't think properly, maybe we have a headache, there's not enough like spinal fluid going up to your brain. So when we laugh, we're secreting all those happy chemicals. It's really scientific based. Like people are like, how could I just laugh? It's scientifically proven that it lowers blood pressure, it boosts our immunity, it increases our connection with others. We're social creatures, and you know we have a global mental health tsunami because of 2020 and the global thing that was going on. I call it the cuckoo time. That was shall not be named. We're locked in our homes. In Canada, we were locked in our homes for 2 years. How do you torture people? You isolate them. So everybody was isolated. Yeah, and so I would say for the skeptics out there, when we can get through to the skeptics, they're our best advocates. We get the best testimonials from the people who arrive at Laughter Club. Somebody dragged them there, come and try it, and they're standing with their arms, crossed. They're like, there's no way I'm not participating. And it makes me laugh because it takes a lot of energy. Laughter's contagious, everybody. So if you're sitting there with a scowl going, I don't believe, it takes a lot of energy not to crack a smile. And then you go, oh, I feel good. And then you giggle. So we know, and the beautiful part about laughter, the body doesn't know the difference between real and simulated laughter. Isn't that cool? Oh, the brain does. Absolutely. The ego does. Like, what are you doing? Why are you laughing? You look ridiculous. The brain's role is to keep us safe and conserve energy. Why? Right? We have like family gathering. Why do you get triggered when your sibling says that thing that they always said? Because your brain, I know what to do here. So you get back into that same old. What if we could go, no, not this time. I'm just going to laugh and change the situation, and it changes everything. It's a vibration. So laughter is high vibration magic medicine. When we're feeling depressed, anxious, angry, frustrated, that's a low vibration. So we're vibrating at a low rate. So somebody that's laughing and somebody that's angry down here, it's like static. It's like the radio being on the wrong signal until they succumb to the laughter and they give in and they're like, oh, ha ha ha, and realize, oh, wow, I feel great. And it's weird the first time you go to a laughter club, it's awkward. Like, what? There's no jokes. There's no comedy. We have to allow ourselves permission to play. Why did we forget that children, if we look at children, they're just running around playing. What are they doing? They're just laughing and having fun. That's what laughter yoga does. It brings us back to that feeling of joy and awe and wonder. And when we're in that state of that child innocence, that's when the magic happens.
Indeed. The science and physiology of joy you mentioned the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin chemicals. I mean, that's a great acronym, right? You know what I'm saying? A natural way to medicate ourselves or to heal ourselves, our inner pain. As children, we laugh freely. We laugh at the silliest things. As adults, we don't seem to laugh. We seem to have quieted that voice, How can yogic breathing, how can that amplify the mental and physical health benefits just in the act of itself? How can people rejoin with their inner child? A lot of times people are stressed because of something to do with their inner child. How can they heal their inner child through the act of laughing or laughter?
You've said it. As we start to become adults and as we age, the pressures of life, the stress, we got to pay for all the things, and how are we going to buy food, and there's no jobs and there's no homes and blah, 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 all the things. The pressure of the world, like the weight of the world that we're carrying around. That's why we need to allow ourselves permission to play. And that is bringing back the childlike feeling. Jokes are cultural, or they're conditional. When we hear a joke, it goes through a lot of filters. Like, have I heard this joke before? Is it funny? It's not my humor. It's a dirty joke. What will the people think if I laugh at this joke? The people that I'm with. So there's a lot of filters that it goes through. When we decide that it's funny, then we might laugh, ha, ha, ha. But we're not getting our deep belly laugh that laughter yoga provides, which is just like laughing unconditionally. It's just like laughing. So we're connecting, we're getting our daily dose, we're getting our physical cardiovascular workout. And we've talked about the dose a few times. And I know you work with addictions and stuff, with people with addictions. Sometimes people have those behaviors because of trauma and past things. But we self-medicate with alcohol or drugs or sex or junk food or whatever it is, trying to get those hits. That's what we want to do, is get those feel-good hormones. So we do these behaviors. What if we could change our mind? And we can, everybody. We can laugh. And there's lots of research with different addictions and where people have replaced their substance with laughter therapy, and over time it changes everything. It's not just one and done. Like, it's not like we have one good night's sleep and that we check it off the list. We drink 8 glasses of water one day. No, laughter is a practice, and it's a practice that I'm inviting people to add to their daily life. Whatever you're doing, laughter is complementary magic medicine. There's no side effects, except maybe the sore stomach from laughing. Those are the laughter muscles, or the cheeks, where your cheeks are hurting because, you haven't laughed so hard in such a long time. It's a great facelift.
Your background in composting and sprouting, how do you see the themes of sustainability, vitality, and health connecting across your different ventures?
Oh, it's so beautiful. Before 2020, I thought I was a juggler. Like, what do you need? I have it. Do you need worms for composting and for growing better food? Do you need food to eat? So sprouts, which is nature's superfood, very fast, grows in a day or two, just a seed or a bean. The system I have is hydroponic, so just a little bit of water, boom, boom, boom. You grow your own food for pennies a day. How wonderful. And then the laughter. So before 2020, I was like, thought they were all separate initiatives. And I treated them as such. And then 2020, 2 years of thinking time. Oh, time to think again. Okay, enough thinking time. Let me out of my house. And I realized all 3 of my ventures are wonderful, sustainable, healthy things to do. When we're composting and gardening, we can't be on technology because it would we'd probably get electrocuted because it would be in the water. Not funny. When we're gardening and growing food and tending to the soil, we're taking care of the planet. We only have one home, just one planet. Although we're acting as if we have more than one. Like, I know there's other planets, but it's a lot of resources to get there, and not for all. And I'm not laughing. I really think that I love Earth, and I think that we really should look after our beautiful planet. So when we're taking care of the planet, we feel good because we're slowing down, which is what we need to do. We're in such a rush to get everywhere. It's like, what else are we doing? Let's just grow food. Why not? And then, so that's how I see everything going together. Because when we're taking care of the planet, we're not causing harm. We're doing good, which is what I believe we're here to do good. And when we feel good, we do good. And when we do good, we're affecting the whole vibration. And that's what I say about laughter. When I laugh, I'm boosting my immunity. I'm feeling better. I'm increasing the vibration of my house because it is just a vibration. I'm adding to the global energy grid. On the opposite, if we're feeling sad, depressed, we're low energy, we're sucking from the global energy. So wouldn't you rather be a contributor where you're feeling good, so much energy? I'm so high energy because I'm always, am I always looking at the positive side? I was going to say I always am. No, not always. Things happen and I get news and I get stressed. I have tools now that when I get stressed, I notice, I'm aware of my body, like, ooh, I'm not breathing deep enough. So I will go for a little walk around the block, get some fresh air, do some laughing, just some intentional laughing. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Whew. And do some beautiful, nice, slow breaths. We have so many tools to get us out of stress and into joy. Laughter is one mechanism. We can put on our favorite song and dance around. We could go in earth, being barefoot on the ground, getting the earth's energy, getting out and get some vitamin D on our skin. There's so many things that we can do to feel better. And that's what I want for everybody.
Indeed. How can busy professionals or parents integrate a dose of laughter into their day without adding another stressful obligation to their already packed schedule?
Combined chores. We can what is it called? Stacking. So you can stack modalities. Like for what I do, and okay, I won't talk about what I do, but so how people can add. So parents are helping their kids have breakfast in the morning and get dressed and get their lunch packed. So while you're doing those, while you're packing the lunch, you can be laughing with your children. Ha ha ha! Let's pack the lunch. Ha ha ha! Let's get your coat on and your boots on. Ha ha ha! It doesn't have to be a full half-hour laughter session. It can literally be just a couple of minutes, just a ha 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 ha, and just like playing with each other, just poking around. If you're cooking soup or something, you're chopping vegetables, ha ha ha, laughing while you're cooking the vegetables. While you're washing the dishes, laughing. So combining chores. If you're driving your kids somewhere, you could laugh together. There's so many ways. I have my cream in the bathroom. I have my cream labeled laughter cream. It literally says laughter cream on it as a reminder. So when I go to put my cream on, it's like, oh, laughter cream, good. Whenever I put the cream on, it's laughter cream. So I laugh. Ha ha ha. So while I'm, doing my hygiene, washing my face and whatnot, I can be laughing. There's so many ways, brushing your hair, laughing. Oh, look at how it looks now. Yeah, so many ways of combining.
Indeed. Your tip is a know for sure unless you ask. It's about overcoming the fear of rejection. How has your practice of laughter given you the courage and confidence to ask for what you needed in life?
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, it's no for sure unless you ask. It's a beautiful expression, and you might still get a no, but it's no for sure unless you ask. And laughter has boosted my confidence. I feel more resilient. I think on a certain level, before I was introduced to laughter yoga, when people said, ew, worms in the house, having to do with my worm business, I took it personal. It was like, oh, they don't like me, or something kind of superficial. Laughter gave me permission to realize, that's not my stuff. They're not ready yet. That's okay. It's not personal. It's not about me. This is theirs. And I think that's what laughter has given to me is the permission to be more reliant on myself, more resilient. When a stressful situation comes and I notice that I'm stressing, like getting stressed, we can't come up with solution when we're stressed because our brain is deprived of oxygen. So when we laugh, we're exhaling. We don't have to think, breathe deep, because we're laughing, ha, 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 ha. We're exhaling. In order to keep on laughing, we need to take a beautiful deep breath in so we can continue laughing. So it's breathing in and out without thinking, oh, breathe in, breathe out. Because we are very shallow breathers. We breathe, especially because we're stressed, living in this stressful state, we're breathing, just kind of chest breathing, and we need to go down into our belly, which is why if we breathe in through our nose and let our belly come out and then hold it. And then if our exhale is longer than our inhale, we're increasing our lung capacity, which helps us feel good. And back to the laughter, when we're exhaling, ha, 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 we're getting rid of the residual oxygen in our body, which turns into carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide causes disease in our body. Cancer cannot survive in an oxygen-rich body. How cool is that? And it was Dr. Otto Warburg who won a Nobel Peace Prize for his work with oxygen and cancer. So it's again, there's science for all of this. For the skeptics out there, do your research on, like, what is it that you want to know about? There's research on people going through dialysis. They're laughing with their dialysis team. Those folks, sometimes they're there several times a week for hours sometimes. And imagine laying there and you've laughed with your team, so the system works better. Same with folks going through chemo and radiation. Imagine laughing with your medical team, and then you go in for your treatment. Fewer side effects. The medicine is better absorbed into your body. It's magnificent. There's no shortage of ways that this magic medicine can help us, and it's complementary. Again, it's not like this or that. It's this with that.
All right. The podcast is called More Than Therapy, based on the nonprofit program More Than Therapy. How does laughter yoga serve as a powerful complement to traditional mental health therapies?
Yeah. So there's no magic bullet for anybody. What I say about laughter is it's complementary. So it's not like you don't need to talk about your issue, your trauma, but you don't need to with laughter. Laughter kind of frees us up so we can laugh. It could be complementary with talk therapy, where the therapist and client are laughing, or if it's group therapy, you're laughing together. And then you're able to connect on a deeper level, and you can go deeper with what it is, because you've kind of primed your body with you've flooded your body with those love drugs. You're fully oxygenated, you're completely present, and just more healing is able to happen. Sometimes in a laughter session, I know that you're likely aware of this, and maybe your viewers as well. When we have a trauma, it doesn't matter if big or small, and it's nobody's place to judge how traumatic something is for somebody. But if somebody has a trauma, we take a deep inhale and it gets into our body, and we hold on to it again like a badge of honor, like, oh, no, I'm fine. Like, just take example of you're out in public and you trip and you fall. We're so embarrassed, we jump up. Oh, are you okay? Oh, no, I'm okay. And even though like our pride is hurt, but we're embarrassed. So that could be a little trauma, no big deal, but it's a little trauma that got in our body. If we don't do something with that, it gets in our body, it becomes part of our DNA. And then the next one on top. Sometimes if people haven't done any work to kind of get to move this energy along, it's simply just stuck energy. In a laughter club, sometimes people will say, oh, I felt sad at the end of the club. And that's because sometimes this energy gets dislodged. It's been in our DNA, maybe from childhood, and it gets dislodged. And I believe it frees itself from your body at that time, so you can look at it. If you're ready, you can look at it and say, what is this? Thank you for serving me. And now it's ready to be released, which frees you of that particular energy. And I don't want to minimize anyone's trauma, for sure, because we've been through a lot, and people have different variations and amounts of traumas. But if we look to animals in the wild, when a rabbit is chased by a predator, If it survives, it will go somewhere and shake. And it's shaking that trauma out like, oh my gosh, I almost died. Whew, I didn't. Boom, boom, boom. Trauma energy gone. And it's like, oh, there's some clover. Let me go eat. Yum, yum, yum. We don't do that. We hold on to the trauma. So I would say be more like a rabbit.
Trying to figure out what kind of sound does a rabbit make, but I couldn't think of anything because I wanted to be more like a rabbit. Oink, oink. I mean, that's a pig, right? All right. Is there any final words you would like to leave the listening and watching audience of More Than Therapy?
I would love to invite you and your listeners to my free online laughter club. Oh, come experience the magic of laughing for the health of it. It's 9:30 a.m. every Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 30 minutes of super fun self-care. I incorporate tapping, brain gym, qigong. I truly want people to feel good because when we feel good, we do good. And laughter is the opposite of stress. My laughter page is cathysclub.com. The information is at the top of the website, how to sign up. And just come and plan to come more than once if you've never attended before, because it could be awkward the first time. And we need to get out of our head and into our body so we can feel how good it feels to feel good instead of thinking about it. There you go. That's it.
All right, all right, all right. What an uplifting and truly insightful conversation with Cathy Nesbitt. Thank you, Cathy, for reminding us that joy is not an accident, it's a choice, a practice, and a powerful physiological tool that we all possess. We learned so much today, from the power of getting your daily dose of happy chemicals to the realization that we truly are in charge of our own pharma. And perhaps most importantly, we learned that we don't have to wait for something funny to laugh. We can start generating health and happiness right now. To our audience, remember Cathy's top tips. Add laughter to your self-care routine. Realize you can manufacture your own love drugs, and never forget that it's a no for sure unless you ask. If you want to dive deeper into Cathy's world of vitality, laughter, and sustainable living, you can find her work everywhere. Explore her sites like Cathy's Composters, Cathy's Sprouters, and Cathy's Club. Connect with her on LinkedIn and follow her joyful journey on her YouTube channel at Cathy Laughter and on Facebook. You can find all of those links, including her full media synopsis, in the show notes for this episode. Thank you for tuning in to the More Than Therapy podcast. If this episode sparked a smile or a new thought, please share it with a friend who needs a little more joy in their life. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the More Than Therapy podcast wherever you watch or listen to your favorite podcasts. Until next time, keep breathing, keep asking, and keep laughing for the health of it.